The topic for today is cell. Before going into the biology of this term, let's see what this means in English. Cell is a term which can be given to something which is closed, compartment-like. Closed compartment-like. So what makes this thing, the cell, the term to be used in biology? In about 1665, Robert Hooke, he developed his own microscope, developed a compound microscope. Compound microscope because two lenses were used for the magnification. Using two lenses, he prepared this microscope. And using this, what he observed, using this magnification, he observed the cells of cork. We'll take a pause here. And what is cork? Let's see what is cork and where did he get it from? You must have seen in pictures or something the cap of the bottle. Okay, a glass bottle, cap of glass bottles or flask in laboratories. They use a cap like this. And this cap is cork. It's made up of cork. So he observed the cells of cork. Instead that I'll rephrase it right now because now we know what that it is called cell, right? So using this, he observed cork. He examined cork piece. What he observed was that the cork piece showed a structure, a magnified version like this. They look like closed compartments. This was what he observed under the microscope. So large compartments were observed. On magnification, obviously, not like without the magnification. So he observed compartments and they were looking kind of honeycomb-like structure. This gave the honeycomb-like appearance. And he called them these small compartments. These large compartments were observed and were named cell by Robert Hooke. What is cork? Cork is derived from plants. It is derived from plants. This whole thing, the cork, the cells that he observed were not living. That means they were dead. But plants are living organisms. Then how is it possible that cells can be dead? They can be dead. Because see what happens, no? Plants do not move, right? So plants do not move. They are immotile. And they need cells that can provide them mechanical support at maximum. So they have very much dead cells present in them that can provide them strength enough to be standing like that. So all these cells were dead, and the reason behind that was suberin. Suberin was deposited in the cell wall of these, and cork is biologically known as Quercus suber. Botanical name is Quercus suber. So suberin was deposited in the cell wall of these. Now what is suberin? Another question comes in mind. What is suberin? So suberin is a chemical substance that is impermeable. That is impermeable to transport of substances like gases, etc. It can be gases, water, etc. So when it is not going to allow things in and out of the cell, things want to come inside the cell, but they are not allowed. Some substances want to go out of the cell, but they are not allowed. Why is that? Because suberin is present in the cell wall. It is deposited in the cell wall of this plant. And because of the presence of suberin, the cells are dead. So Robert Hooke was the first one to observe dead cells. Robert Hooke developed a compound microscope and he observed. He was the first person to observe cells, but the cells he observed were dead cells. Or cells, they were derived from a living organism, obviously. Okay, the plant was living, but the cork is the non-living. It is a non-living structure. And later in 1674, Anton von Leeuwenhoek constructed a microscope. See, he constructed microscope even before Robert Hooke. The first microscope was actually constructed by him. But around this year, around 1674, he basically, like, the microscope that was developed by him. The first microscope was developed, and that microscope was simple microscope. Anton von Leeuwenhoek, in around the year 1674, in this microscope, what he observed, he took some water from pond. Okay, and in this pond water, when he observed under microscope, he got a magnified view because the magnification was about 200 times. The magnification was about 200 times. So using this microscope, Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed things that were present in the pond water. And what he saw some moving organisms and named them animalcules. He named them animalcules, which are now known as protozoa. Primitive animals. Proto means primitive, zoa means animals. So they are now known as protozoa. These animalcules which he observed were the living cell. So we can say that Anton von Leeuwenhoek was first to observe living cells. There are certain properties of cell to be understood, and these properties of the cell can be explained under cell theory. This was formulated separately, individually by two scientists, one biologist and another one is botanist. One is zoologist and one is botanist. See, this cell theory was formulated by Malthus Schleiden and Theodor Schwann in 1838-39. Theodor Schwann, who was a zoologist, observed certain characteristics in animal cell, and Malthus Schleiden, being a botanist, observed some of the characteristics of plant cell. So they came together and formulated the cell theory that applies to each and every cell. This states that the cell is basic, structural, and functional unit of life. It is the basic, structural, and functional unit of life. And second point of cell theory says that all the living processes that are taking place, all the living process are due to process in cell. Interestingly, living and non-living can be classified on this basis. Living is something that has presence of cell, can be termed as living, and non-living, absence of cell. Cell theory, which was given by Malthus Schleiden and Theodor Schwann, gave these 2 points about the cell, properties of cell. But there was one problem with this. It did not explain origin of cell. From where cell is coming, from where cell arises. So this was resolved when Rudolf Virchow in 1855 gave a generalization stating omnis cellula e cellula, which means that each cell arises from pre-existing cell. Now, because of the cell theory, we can say that cell is the building block of life. It is what makes up a living organism. It is the building block of life. It is what makes up a living organism. So cell theory now has 3 points. You can say that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. All the living processes that are taking place are due to the process taking inside of cell. And why do we say that it is the structural unit? The question might come, why cell is structural unit of life? The reason being because all living organisms are made up of cell or cell products. All living organisms are made of cells or cell products. Because each cell arises from pre-existing cell, the statement omnis cellula e cellula explains the origin of cell. When this point was added, it was called cell lineage theory, as this point was the modification to cell theory. This was modification to cell theory. So it was called as cell lineage theory.